Tiny habits, massive results. In Atomic Habits, James Clear reveals how small changes lead to life-altering breakthroughs. It's not about motivation, it's about systems. If you're stuck, scattered, or starting over, this book shows you how to build good habits and break bad ones, one tiny step at a time. Welcome to Insibook. Let's break it down together to fully understand what Atomic Habits is. The journey to remarkable results rarely begins with a monumental leap. Instead, it starts with a single, tiny decision that, when repeated, compounds into something extraordinary. Changes that seem small and unimportant at first will blossom into remarkable outcomes if you're willing to stick with them for years. This is the essence of Atomic Habits: small, easy-to-do regular practices or routines that are the source of incredible power and a fundamental component of a system of compound growth. Think of your habits as the compound interest of self-improvement. Just as money multiplies through compound interest, the effects of your habits multiply as you repeat them. On any given day, they might seem to make little difference, but the impact they deliver over months and years can be enormous. If you can get just 1% better each day for a year, you'll end up 37 times better by the time you're done. Conversely, a 1% decline each day will bring you down nearly to zero. Your outcomes are a lagging measure of your habits. Your weight is a lagging measure of your eating habits, your knowledge is a lagging measure of your learning habits, and your clutter is a lagging measure of your cleaning habits. You get what you repeat. Success is the product of daily habits, not once-in-a-lifetime transformations. If you're having trouble changing your habits, the problem isn't you, it's your system. Bad habits repeat themselves not because you don't want to change, but because you have the wrong system for change. This leads to a core philosophy. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Goals are about the results you want to achieve, while systems are about the processes that lead to those results. If you want better results, forget about setting goals and focus on your system instead. The purpose of setting goals is to win the game, but the purpose of building systems is to continue playing the game. True long-term thinking is goal-less thinking. It's about the cycle of endless refinement and continuous improvement. Ultimately, your commitment to the process will determine your progress. The most effective way to change your habits is to focus not on what you want to achieve, but on who you wish to become. This is the shift from outcome-based habits to identity-based habits. There are 3 layers to behavior change: changing your outcomes, changing your process, and changing your identity. The most potent form of change comes from the inside out, starting with your beliefs and self-image. The goal isn't to read a book, but to become a reader. The goal isn't to run a marathon, but to become a runner. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. No single instance will transform your beliefs, but as the votes build up, so does the evidence of your new identity. This is why meaningful change doesn't require radical change. Small habits can make a meaningful difference by providing evidence of a new identity. The process of building a habit can be broken down into 4 simple steps: cue, craving, response, and reward. This 4-stage cycle is the backbone of every habit. The cue triggers your brain to initiate a behavior. The craving provides the motivation to act. The response is the actual habit you perform, and the reward is the satisfying outcome that reinforces the behavior for the future. Together, these 4 steps form a neurological feedback loop that ultimately allows you to create automatic habits. Understanding this habit loop is the first step to redesigning your behaviors. To engineer good habits and eliminate bad ones, we can use a framework called the 4 laws of behavior change. For building good habits, the laws are: 1. Make it obvious. 2. Make it attractive. 3. Make it easy. And 4. Make it satisfying. To break a bad habit, we simply invert these laws. 1. Make it invisible. 2. Make it unattractive. 3. Make it difficult. And 4. Make it unsatisfying. The first law, make it obvious, is about the cue. Many of our daily actions are shaped not by purposeful choice, but by the most obvious option available. Therefore, to build a good habit, you need to make its cues prominent in your environment. You can use implementation intentions, which are specific plans for when and where you will perform a habit. The formula is: I will behavior at time in location. Another powerful technique is habit stacking, where you pair a new habit with an existing one. The formula is, after current habit, I will new habit. Your environment is the invisible hand that shapes human behavior. By redesigning your surroundings, you can make good habits more likely to happen. For instance, if you want to read more, place a book on your pillow. If you want to eat healthier, keep fruits and nuts on the counter instead of cookies.
The secret to self-control is to make the cues for your good habits obvious and the cues for your bad habits invisible. People with the best self-control are typically those who need to use it the least because they spend less time in tempting situations.
The second law, make it attractive, focuses on the craving. Habits are a dopamine-driven feedback loop. Dopamine is released not only when you experience pleasure, but also when you anticipate it. This anticipation is what drives the craving to act. To make a habit more attractive, you can use a strategy called temptation bundling. This involves pairing an action you want to do with an action you need to do. For example, you could allow yourself to watch your favorite show, what you want, only while you're on the treadmill, what you need. We also tend to imitate the habits of three groups: the close, our family and friends; the many, the culture; and the powerful, those with status and prestige. Joining a culture where your desired behavior is the normal behavior is a powerful way to make your habits more attractive. To break a bad habit, you can highlight the benefits of avoiding it, making it seem unattractive. The third law is to make it easy, which addresses the response. Human behavior follows the law of least effort. We naturally gravitate toward the option that requires the least amount of work. To build good habits, you must reduce the friction associated with them. Design an environment where doing the right thing is as easy as possible. This could mean laying out your workout clothes the night before to reduce the steps needed to exercise in the morning. A cornerstone of this law is the 2-minute rule, which states that when you start a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to do. Read before bed each night becomes read 1 page. Do 30 minutes of yoga becomes take out my yoga mat. The idea is to make your habits easy to start, because once you've started doing the right thing, it's much easier to continue doing it. This gateway habit naturally leads you down a more productive path. To break bad habits, you should do the opposite. Increase the friction.
If you want to watch less TV, you could unplug it after each use and remove the remote from the living room. You can also use commitment devices, choices you make in the present that lock in better behavior in the future, like purchasing food in individual packages rather than in bulk to prevent overeating.
The final law is to make it satisfying, which is all about the reward. We are more likely to repeat a behavior when the experience is satisfying. The human brain evolved to prioritize immediate rewards over delayed ones, which is why so many of us struggle with habits that have a delayed return, like exercise or saving money. The cardinal rule of behavior change is, what is immediately rewarded is repeated. Therefore, it's crucial to give yourself an immediate reward when you complete your habit. This could be as simple as tracking your habit. Marking an X on a calendar or moving a paperclip from one jar to another provides a satisfying visual cue of your progress, which creates a sense of accomplishment and keeps you motivated. The act of tracking itself becomes a reward. To break a bad habit, you want to make it immediately unsatisfying.
An accountability partner can be invaluable here. Simply knowing that someone else is watching can be a powerful motivator to avoid a negative consequence.
Even with the best systems, progress is not always linear. You will inevitably face what is called the plateau of latent potential. This is a period where you are making improvements, but the results haven't yet become visible. It's like an ice cube in a room that is slowly warming. Nothing happens for a long time, and then, at the critical threshold of 32 degrees Fahrenheit, it begins to melt. Breakthrough moments are often the result of many previous actions that have built up the potential required to unleash a major change. Patience is key. You need to persist long enough to break through this plateau. Finally, as you master your habits, it's important to establish a system for reflection and review. Habits can make you proficient, but they can also lead to complacency. To achieve mastery, you need a combination of habits and deliberate practice. Regularly reviewing your habits and making small adjustments ensures that you continue to improve and adapt. It's also vital to keep your identity small and flexible. Don't let your habits define you so rigidly that you can't evolve. The process of self-improvement is not about reaching a finish line. It is a system to improve, an endless process to refine. It is the commitment to this cycle of endless refinement and continuous improvement that will ultimately determine your progress and lead to remarkable, life-changing results.